At some point, the Browns are going to have to sit there and go, we got to get them more reps against better competition with more of our higher end talent.
What happens when a rookie quarterback refuses to stay in his lane? When a young gun steps into the NFL, looks the veterans in the eye, and says without actually saying it, "I'm ready, so put me in with the real ones." This isn't just about preseason stats. This isn't about hype videos, sneaker deals, or Instagram followers. This is about the Cleveland Browns, a team notorious for mishandling quarterbacks being forced into a corner by a rookie who just proved he might be their best option right now. And the message is clear. Shedeur Sanders wants first-team reps, and he's not waiting quietly. The line was quick. Just 8 seconds on the Pat McAfee Show. At some point, the Browns are going to have to sit there and go, we gotta get him more reps against better competition with more of our higher-end talent. That wasn't a fan. That wasn't some YouTube commenter hiding behind an anonymous avatar. That was an NFL veteran on national airwaves calling out the Browns coaching staff. It was the football equivalent of saying, stop babysitting him. Let him drive the car. To understand why those words hit like a lightning bolt, you have to look at the Browns quarterback depth chart. Joe Flacco, the grizzled Super Bowl MVP, is still here. He's the safe option, the don't rock the boat guy. Dylan Gabriel, the other rookie, is getting buzz in camp. Kenny Pickett injured, but part of the mix. And then there's Shedeur Sanders, drafted lower than his talent warranted, ridiculed by doubters, and told he'd have to earn his way in a system that wasn't going to hand him anything. The Browns didn't even give him meaningful first-team practice reps before his preseason debut. They threw him into live action with backups and bubble players. The message was clear. You're not ready for prime time. Then the debut happened. 2 touchdowns, pinpoint throws under pressure, poise that made the field feel smaller for defenders and bigger for his receivers. It wasn't just the stat line. It was the presence. He wasn't rushing the play clock. He wasn't flinching at edge rushers. He was pointing out protections at the line like a seasoned vet, telling receivers, you're good. Don't worry about any blitzes before the snap. And he did all of this without ever having played with the Browns' top weapons. No Amari Cooper, no Nick Chubb, no elite pass-protecting O-line in front of him. This is where the controversy explodes, because if he can look that good with second and third stringers, what happens when you give him the ones? The NFL veteran warning shot. The give him first-team reps argument isn't just about hype, it's about opportunity. In the NFL, reps aren't just practice, they're currency. Every throw in camp is a chance to build timing with your receivers, understand your O-line's tendencies, and get comfortable with game-speed decision-making. By keeping Shadur in the backup group, the Browns are essentially capping his growth, forcing him to learn chemistry with guys who might not even make the roster. It's like teaching a Formula One driver on a go-kart track and then expecting him to win Monaco. The NFL voice that made the call on Pat McAfee Show knows exactly what's at stake. If the Browns keep him in the kiddie pool too long, they risk wasting the very momentum that could win them games in 2025. Why the Browns might be scared? Let's be honest, Shadur Sanders is not your average rookie. He comes with a brand. He comes with a last name that carries weight. He comes with expectations from a fan base that isn't even the Browns fan base. He's got LeBron James shouting him out on social media. He's got national media coverage dissecting his every move. And he's got a father, Dion, Coach Prime Sanders, who's already proven he knows how to build his son into a star. If the Browns give him first-team reps and he outshines the veterans, that's a quarterback controversy. And once you have that, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The safe play for Cleveland is to slow roll him. The bold play is to unleash him. And right now, the Browns are leaning towards safe. The preseason mirage problem. Critics will say, it's just preseason, calm down. They'll point to Kenny Pickett in 2023, flawless in August, pedestrian in September. They'll remind you that defensive coordinators run vanilla schemes in preseason, that starters often sit, and that the speed ramps up when the games count. But here's the counter. Decision-making, accuracy, and pocket presence aren't preseason illusions. You either have them or you don't. Shadur showed them all. And he did it in situations that rookie quarterbacks typically fail in: collapsing pockets, tight window throws, and mid-play adjustments. You can't dismiss that just because the scoreboard didn't matter. The locker room effect. There's another layer to this, and it's the one the Browns front office can't ignore. NFL locker rooms know when a guy can play. They also know when a guy's not ready. You can't fool the veterans. When Myles Garrett, the face of the franchise, is laughing and talking football with Shadur after the game. That's a sign. When offensive players are openly praising his composure in the huddle, that's a sign. First-team reps aren't just about skill, they're about trust. And every day Shadur doesn't get them, the veterans are silently asking themselves, what are we waiting for? Browns fans are complicated. They're loyal, they're long-suffering, and they're tired of the wait-your-turn approach when it comes to quarterback talent. For some of them, this preseason opener was the Super Bowl. It was their first glimpse of hope after years of false starts at the most important position in sports. Social media is already lighting up. Why isn't he with the ones yet? All we've seen enough. Give him the job. Flacco's a bridge. But who are we building the bridge for if not Shadur? This isn't just hype. It's a grassroots push that could get ugly if the Browns keep ignoring it. The risk of waiting too long. The NFL isn't patient. A team can go from playoff hopeful to rebuilding in 6 weeks. If the Browns sit on Shadur too long, one of two things happens. They stick with a safe veteran, lose winnable games, and watch the season slip away before making the change. They throw him in too late, without chemistry with the starters, light as get him up to fail. The sweet spot is right now, when confidence is high, when the locker room buzz is real, and when the fan base is demanding it. The Shadur factor. Let's strip this down to raw football. Arm talent, NFL caliber with velocity and touch. Pocket presence, already better than some vets. Mobility, not Lamar Jackson, but enough to extend plays. Mentality, calm, prepared, competitive. These are first-team traits, and unlike most rookies, he's been groomed for the spotlight since high school. National TV interviews, sold-out stadiums, media storms, this is his normal. That's why the first-team reps conversation isn't about readiness. It's about willingness from the organization to let go of the training wheels. What happens next? If the Browns give him those reps this week, it changes everything. It accelerates his learning curve. It forces the coaching staff to think about starting him in week 1. It signals to the locker room that the best players will get the best opportunities, regardless of age or draft slot. If they don't, this debate won't go away. It will only get louder with every throw he makes in practice, every touchdown in preseason, and every drive that stalls under another quarterback. The NFL reality. History tells us something important. When a rookie QB is ready, delaying him rarely works out. Patrick Mahomes sat for a year, but Alex Smith was playing elite football. Aaron Rodgers sat for years, but Brett Favre was still a Hall of Famer. The Browns don't have that luxury. They have good quarterbacks, not untouchable legends. If Shedeur Sanders is already the most composed passer on the roster, what's the benefit in hiding him? Every day that passes without Shadur getting those first-team snaps is another day of tension building in Cleveland. The media is already circling. The fans are already restless. And the players, whether they say it out loud or not, are already forming opinions. The Browns coaching staff might think they're controlling the situation, but in reality, they're on the clock. Because when a rookie plays this well, this fast, and the demand for him to rise gets this loud, there's only one way the story ends, with the team making a decision they can't take back. So here we are. 8 seconds of commentary on national television have turned into a full-blown quarterback dilemma. The Browns can stay safe. They can hide behind the preseason doesn't matter excuse. They can keep Shadur Sanders in the second-team bubble and hope the noise dies down. Or they can take the shot. They can give him those first-team reps, let him run with the big dogs, and see if the spark becomes a fire. The choice is theirs, the pressure is real, and the clock is ticking. Because if Shadur Sanders keeps playing like this, the question won't be if he gets first-team reps. It'll be why it took so damn long.